What if I told you that football's greatest story may have already reached its perfect ending? What if millions of fans around the world are waiting for a fairy tale that football was never meant to give? Because history has a cruel habit. It builds heroes, it creates legends, and then, when everyone expects one final miracle, it reminds us that time defeats everyone, even the greatest, even Lionel Messi. FIFA 2026 could become one of the most emotional tournaments in football history, not because of who wins it, but because it might be the last time millions of fans watch a legend walk onto football's biggest stage. And here's the prediction Messi fans won't like. Argentina may not win FIFA 2026. In fact, there's a real possibility that their World Cup journey ends in heartbreak. Before you call this disrespect, hear me out, because football doesn't care about emotions. It doesn't care about legacy, and it certainly doesn't guarantee happy endings. Let's begin. Think back to December 18th, 2022. The world stopped. One of the greatest World Cup finals ever played. 90 minutes weren't enough. Extra time wasn't enough. Even penalties weren't enough to separate two giants of football. And then it happened. Argentina became world champions. The image of a captain lifting the World Cup trophy instantly became immortal. For millions of fans, that wasn't just a victory, it was closure. Football's greatest debate suddenly felt complete. The dream had finally become reality. The mountain had been climbed. The mission had been accomplished. And that's exactly why FIFA 2026 feels different. Because sometimes the hardest thing in sports isn't reaching the top. It's finding a reason to climb again. History is full of champions who discovered that defending greatness is even harder than achieving it. The hunger changes, the pressure changes, the expectations become heavier, and suddenly everyone wants to defeat the champions. Argentina won't enter FIFA 2026 as underdogs. They'll enter as targets. And targets rarely have an easy path. There is one opponent no footballer has ever beaten. Not Pelé. Not Maradona, not Zidane, not Cristiano Ronaldo. Time. No amount of talent can stop it. No amount of trophies can slow it down. And no amount of greatness can escape it. By FIFA 2026, Messi will be older than most players ever are at a World Cup. Does that mean he can't still produce moments of magic? Of course not. Great players age differently. They adapt. They evolve. They become smarter. But World Cups demand something brutal. 7 high-intensity matches, elite opponents, fast transitions, relentless pressure, minimal recovery time. International tournaments don't forgive tired legs. They expose them. Football history is filled with legendary players whose final World Cups didn't end the way fans imagined, because reality eventually catches everyone, even the greatest. And that's not disrespect, that's football. Here's another truth Messi fans may not want to hear. FIFA 2026 might be the most competitive World Cup ever. Look around the football world. France possesses unbelievable depth. England continues producing elite talent. Spain's young generation keeps improving. Portugal remains loaded with quality. Brazil is always dangerous. Germany is rebuilding. Morocco shocked the world. Japan continues rising. The gap between nations has never been smaller. There are no easy knockout matches anymore. No guaranteed victories, no safe paths. One mistake can destroy an entire campaign. One moment of brilliance can end a dream. And that's what makes the World Cup beautiful, but also cruel. Argentina may still be among the favorites, but they are no longer alone. The competition has never been stronger. Winning a World Cup is hard. Defending one is even harder. History proves it. Many champions fail to repeat their success. Why? Because the world changes quickly. Opponents adapt, tactics evolve, new stars emerge, and pressure becomes overwhelming. Every team wants to defeat the champions. Every stadium becomes hostile. Every match feels like a final. Suddenly, expectations become a burden. The same thing could happen to Argentina. In 2022, they surprised many people. In 2026, nobody will underestimate them. And that changes everything. The hunters become the hunted. And football history shows that being hunted is much harder. This may be the hardest truth of all. Sports rarely give perfect endings. Fans dream of legends walking away with one final trophy. Reality often tells a different story. Many great players experienced heartbreaking endings, Because football isn't written by scriptwriters. It's written by chaos, by mistakes, by injuries, by moments nobody can predict. The World Cup doesn't reward emotion, it rewards performance. Sometimes football's most beautiful stories end painfully, and perhaps that's why they become unforgettable. Could FIFA 2026 become another painful chapter? It's possible, very possible, because football has never promised happy endings. The Argentina of 2026 may not look exactly like the Argentina of 2022. Teams evolve, players age, tactics change, new leaders emerge. The squad may rely more on collective strength than individual brilliance. And perhaps that's not a weakness. Perhaps it's necessary. Modern football increasingly rewards balance over dependency. The greatest teams don't rely on one player. They rely on systems, chemistry, discipline, mentality. Argentina may still have world-class talent, but expecting one player to carry an entire nation again may be unrealistic. Football eventually becomes bigger than any individual, even legends. Imagine carrying the hopes of millions. Every touch analyzed, every pass debated, every mistake criticized. That's the reality of global icons. For many fans, FIFA 2026 isn't just another tournament. It's something emotional, something personal. They want one last miracle, one final masterpiece, one final celebration. But expectations can become dangerous because football doesn't owe anyone a perfect ending. Sometimes expectations create heartbreak before the tournament even begins. And that may be the greatest danger facing Argentina. Not their opponents, their expectations. So, here's the prediction. Argentina may not win FIFA 2026. They may fall in the knockout stages. They may lose to a stronger team. Or perhaps to a moment of football chaos. A penalty shootout. An injury. A defensive mistake. Because that's how World Cups work. Tiny moments decide immortality. This prediction isn't about disrespect. It's about probability. The World Cup is designed to be unpredictable. Favorites fail. Underdogs rise. Giants fall. History repeats. And football remains beautifully cruel. But here's the good news. Legacy isn't built in one tournament. It's built across an entire career. Records, titles, moments, memories, inspiration. These things don't disappear. Nothing that happens in FIFA 2026 can erase what has already been achieved. The greatest careers are remembered for what they gave the sport. And some players give football an entire era. Win or lose, lift another trophy or not. History has already spoken. The legacy remains untouched forever. Oh, will Argentina win FIFA 2026? Maybe. They absolutely have the talent, the experience, the mentality, everything needed to compete. But football has never been about certainty, and that's why this prediction exists. Because while millions dream of one final miracle, history tells us that miracles rarely happen twice. Perhaps FIFA 2026 ends with celebration. Perhaps it ends with heartbreak. No one knows. That's the beauty of football, but one thing is certain. When a legend steps onto the pitch one final time, the entire world watches, not because they expect greatness, but because greatness has already happened. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. What do you think? Will Argentina defend their title, or are Messi fans heading toward heartbreak in FIFA 2026? Let me know in the comments.